What's up, everybody? Thralls here once again. I'm Necrotic.
I'm Jammin.
And we have yet another album review for you. And, well, this one is kind of tied to our trip to Maryland for Maryland Death Fest. Unfortunately, this was a band we missed. And now that we have listened to this album, I really feel like we should have saw them. Sadly, you can't see them all. I mean, believe me, we tried.
Yeah, no shit.
But, yeah, we are going to go over the latest offering from Haggus, Destination Extinction. This also comes out on the 20th of June on Tank Crimes Records. This band formed in 2014 in Oakland, California. This is their fifth full length, which, sounds like an appropriate number for a band that's been around for a little bit over 10 years. But guess what? Because this is a grindcore band / goregrind / MINCECORE, I'm still kind of foggy as to what exactly MINCECORE is. I just kind of throw it in the grindcore pile. But I don't know. I think the thing with MINCECORE is releasing a lot of shit because this band has 12 EPs and 39 splits already. That's fucking ridiculous. This band doesn't sleep. They just churn out grindy two-step. I don't know. It's very crust punk oriented too. I don't know. This band's ridiculous. I kind of knew it just looking at a picture of them with their ski masks on and then looking over their names, which they are a three-piece with members such as Big Turk, Hambone, and Mr. Brisket. And I believe all of them do vocals, and believe me, we're going to talk about that.
Mr. Brisket is what sells it for me. I wasn't completely sold until I heard about Mr. Brisket, and then I was like, all right. Yeah, I've never actually sat down and listened to this band before. This would be my first time through.
Same.
I also agree with the fact that we should have caught them at MDF. We have a couple friends that went that were ranting and raving about this band, and we just missed it somehow, and now I feel stupid.
And here we thought like all of the ridiculousness was over at the power plant stage when Gudalax played. No, there was plenty of ridiculousness going on at the sound stage as well. So, all right, looking up the archives because that's where we go to look up stuff. It said grindcore / goregrind. And that's relatively correct. I mean, the MINCECORE thing, that kind of ties in with the number of releases. They got a long way before they catch up with the Gathicles. But musically, listen to this. This has a lot of like two-step punk and hardcore. The riffs on here are like kind of a mix across the board of like kind of like up-tempo, very just kind of fun punk riffs and like metal chugging, like little bits of like, death metal here and there, grindcore freakouts. Like, this isn't all, like, blast beats and high-octane shit, like, all the time. Like, a lot of this is just, like, two-step, kind of just bouncy, whatever it is.
Two-step crust punk with, like, grindy shit fits kind of mashed in there. Like, because, when he told me about this at first, he was like, oh, we're going over a grind band. And I was like, sweet. I love going over grind bands. Hard to review, fun to listen to. But I didn't get, like, grind being the sole focus, at least of this record. Like, maybe it's possible that going into other records, there is just more grindy shit bits. But, like, for this, it wasn't a lot of that. For the most part, it's really punky. You get a lot of D beats. The riffing is fairly simplistic, yet fun. Songs like What's Fucking Left, Bound by Realms, Repulsive Institution, just super, like, fun, really simplistic grooves.
Yeah, I mean, this is very minimalistic. Like, when it comes down to, like, songwriting, there are just, like, a few ingredients, and they're all loud and they're all rotten. There's definitely some comparisons to be made to, like, I would say, like, Autopsy's punkier material. Like, this isn't, like, shit fun, because I actually did have fun listening to this. There's also another little connection to Autopsy, as this was produced by Greg Wilkinson, of Autopsy and Deathgrave, and he always kind of gives his mixes like this very organic sound, and I mean, it might be because he's a bassist, and maybe it's just because he loves the sound of a bass, but the bass always has like a really prominent sound, and while there's like just a lot of like simple kind of bouncy two-steps, the bass on here, there's actually like a lot of like fun little like bass noodles here and there, and actually kind of does a little bit more than the guitars occasionally. Bound by Realms of Cruelty, it kind of stands out as like a little bit different because the guitars, I mean, it kind of starts off like almost like a heavy metal song. Like, it's got a two-time groove, yet like some heavy metal lead harmonies. It still sounds gritty. It still sounds ridiculous, but it kind of shows like there's like a little bit more to this band because like melody is honestly a pretty big part of this. The whole album is kind of like a good mix of like snarling punk energy, but with like this kind of like loose heavy metal sort of fun to it. It really doesn't get like hyper aggressive, honestly, until like about the end of the album with the last 3 tracks. As the hammer drops, Malignant Boomer and Grotesque Reflection, where these songs are notably like faster and more aggressive throughout. You kind of lose like that crusty kind of fun. Like this is the point where, you know, like it's been a party the entire time. Everyone's drinking. And then, like, you know, the couple of people you were kind of worried about was like, I don't know about it. When they drink, shit kind of gets haywire. That's that point. It's like, oh, shit. He's got that look in the eye. There goes the coffee table. All right. I was kind of hoping to get through this night without having to call the fucking cops.
In fact, I would call 2 of the last 3 songs more grindy.
Yeah, like flat out grind.
As the hammer drops and Malignant Boomer, I would call flat out grind. Now, Grotesque Reflection, on the other hand, probably leans a little bit more towards death metal. Like, the riffs are notably heavier, you get some slammy chugs, and then a downright slammy breakdown. That doesn't happen throughout the rest of the record, but it's all fun. This entire record is just nothing but fun.
Yeah, if you doubt us, go watch the video for Malignant Boomer. It's pretty fucking hilarious. Stylistically, it kind of reminds me of, like, Disrupt without, like, you know, the absolute seriousness of Disrupt. But we still haven't really talked about the vocals yet. And I've been wanting to, because this is kind of where the jokes come in, because the vocals are fucking ridiculous. They are so hyper distorted for the most part, and it's all 3 of them. There's like 3, maybe 4 distinct voices on here. Most of them, it doesn't fucking matter. You're never going to make out what they're saying.
I have no idea. None.
The deeper vocals are so distorted, it sounds like someone belching through like a Taco Bell fucking drive-thru behind a chorus of like speaking spells with like fucking dead batteries.
Or somebody farting into a bowl of pudding.
Like, seriously, if you can actually, you know, take a straw and blow fucking bubbles in a bowl of oatmeal and record it, you could have a guest spot on this album and no one would know the fucking wiser.
And then there's a couple times in this record where it's just a downright woo! The first one is in Bound by Realms of Cruelty. It's right towards the end. It's just woo! And like, that's how we cheer at shows, too. If you're ever standing near us after a song, we're just always woo! And I like that.
We would have moved with you.
And then the next time it happens, I believe, is in Crippled by Stupidity, and we've been there.
That was my report card.
If you guys have watched this channel throughout the last 6 years, you know that we are, in fact, Crippled by Stupidity. But yeah, happens again there, and I love that addition into these songs because it just makes them all the more fun.
I mean, fun is like the main thing. Like, even when, like, they kind of, like, break up the vocals, because those woos come in between, like, someone shrieking like a rabid chihuahua through a fucking fan. And, again, the deeper vocals, you're, woo! And, I mean, it's hard not to go, that was fucking cool.
Yep.
But occasionally you have moments where they isolate the different vocalists, and I have to say, like, oddly, Crippled by Stupidity has some of the most intelligible screams. Like, I could make out 3 or 4 words. In fact, the guy that's doing the woos, he kind of has his own bit where he's just doing these, like, ranting fucking bellows. It sounded like Bobcat Goldthwait fronting Integrity, which now I kind of want to see.
I would pay to see that.
Yes.
Please do that.
But yeah, like, you get that trade-off between those vocals and then the cyber gore pig, I don't know, whatever that hyper distorted one is. It just makes this, like, I don't know, like, more fun. Like, you know, this kind of falls in that category with Goodalex where, you know, part of it is a novelty, but at the same time it's catchy, it's fun. In fact, like, rhythmically, this band is very similar to Goodalex. Like, just a lot of 2-steps, and you kind of boogie to it, and you kind of just regale yourself in how ridiculous the music is, but at the same time it's very catchy. It's gritty and silly at the same time. And I don't know, it's almost like, you know, 2 different sides of, like, metalheads, because I mean, we take ourselves too seriously often, but let's face it, we're fucking goobers, we're fucking dorks, all of us. We're dorks for this stuff.
I mean, and that's part of the fun,
yeah,
at least to me, of being a metalhead is, yeah, you can be really serious about the craft and about the love and the passion for the music, but at the same time, like, I have not met a metalhead in my travels that doesn't have a great sense of humor and likes dick and fart jokes. Like, that's what we are, you guys.
Yeah, like, any metalheads out there that, like, pick on, like, Star Wars fans or something like that, like, look at these nerds, like, dude, shut up, you are a nerd. Now, in terms of, like, any negatives on here, like, all right, I will admit that this might be more of a novelty for me, and, you know, in terms of, like, repeat plays and such, I might not go back to it as much, but I think when I do, it'll probably bring a smile on my face. Because, it does appeal to me musically, but it appeals to me for just how ridiculous it is. And honestly, the more I listen to this, the more I feel like live is the actual setting. And from what I hear, their live show was awesome. They were throwing out like fucking shirts and patches.
We fucked up.
Yeah, we fucked up. I forget who played. It was probably someone awesome. It wasn't like a total fuck up. We couldn't see everyone. We tried. But I think live is kind of the setting for a band like this, and I don't think everything that they do is like quite captured on here that they probably sound like live. We don't know because we fucked up and missed them. But yeah, that's kind of like my minor complaint on here is that, there's a vibe that I think is kind of missing here, and I do feel like it's more of a novelty listen overall, but it's fun. Like, that's the main fucking thing in here is it's fun. Like, leave your brain at home or away from the speakers. Just throw it out the goddamn window and listen to this. It's only 24 minutes. Your brain will be fine. So overall, I'm going to give us 3.5 stars. It's close to a 4, but I think 3.5 is a little bit more fair, but I enjoyed this. This is ridiculous fun. The 2-step grooves are great. I like the mix of like different riffs on here. Like you get good death metal chugs. You get like some really solid grindy moments. Most of it, I would say, is more like just punk related. And it has that sort of like punk fuck you attitude. I mean, who knows what they're talking about? I mean, they did ask a poignant question here. Do you love MINCECORE? I think I do. I don't know what other things they said in here. They could have been like just like reading off the fucking menu at a Denny's or something and just like, yeah, we'll just distort the fuck out of this and they'll never know the difference.
I mean, who doesn't love Moons Over Miami? Come on, guys.
One of the greatest sandwiches. But yeah, if you're a big fan of bands like, Gudalax, there's a little bit on here that kind of reminded me of like Midnight. I don't know, just like ridiculous over-the-top gore grind bands, but ones that aren't like super blast happy. A little bit of Disrupt too. I don't know. Check this album out. Check this band out. It's a lot of listens. I mean, 5 full lengths, that might be a lot easier than going after the 39 splits. That just seems ridiculous. But yeah, just check them out regardless. They're a good time.
I don't know. I can't say listening to 39 splits is necessarily ridiculous. I'm a Buckethead fan. I've probably listened to a good 70 albums from Buckethead. So, I mean, I get it. This is also a 3.5 for me. This record is just super fun. Like, in the end, I just had a great time. It does have a great mixture of riffs. You get some thrash, you get some punk, you get some hardcore, you get some death metal. You definitely get some grindy moments. You get some more dynamic selections. Like, they kind of threw everything into the mix and said, okay, here's what we are. The vocals are absolutely ridiculous, which make this disgustingly entertaining. Like, grossly simplistic, very minimal, but oddly enough, really catchy and really fun to listen to. The transitions, even though they may be a little bit repetitive as to what they go to, they still nail well. I really wish we would have seen this live. But yeah, overall, if you're a fan of any of the bands Nick mentioned, plus probably a little bit of like Birdflesh or early Napalm Death, stuff like that, you're probably going to really dig this. Again, we fucked up by not seeing them live, but I recommend checking this out.
So, if you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time. We also have memberships. They are only 99 cents, and our lone perk is doing a members-only live stream, which we will do one at some point this month, hopefully. Again, we just got to wait for schedules to kind of line up to do it. But memberships are the main way to support the channel now, and if you would like to join up, there is a join button down there, and every time you click that join button, Jammin John giggles like the Pillsbury Doughboy. I swear it happens. We'll actually record it. If you do one live during one of our streams, he'll do it. He'll probably fart too.
I mean, we are crippled by stupidity, as stated, at least in this record. But
doesn't hinder us much.
And furthermore, once again, something we've been leaving out that I'm bringing back here, we do have a booger troll emoji, you guys. And if you hit that join button, you'll get the booger troll. And I promise you, we worked long and hard. It took a solid 15 seconds to type that into an AI generator before it produced a booger troll. So we got that. But even if you don't hit the join button and you don't care about our booger troll, still tons of stuff coming your way. Album reviews, discography rankings. We got At the Gates coming up next. We got a new segment that runs in tandem with that. Thralls Greatest Hits. We got Nick's Never-Ending Collection updates. States of Metal. Is it metal? Is it not metal? All metal all the time. We do all for you guys because we appreciate you being here. Thank you for being a part of Thralls of Metal, and thank you for making this channel into something a whole hell of a lot bigger than we ever thought it would be.
Yeah, you guys absolutely rule. Tons of content coming your way. So one more big thank you because you guys are awesome, and we will catch you later.